Okay, there's a lot I like about the movie, but it's Fantastic Four 2025. What I didn't like was the disrespect, though, of the science. I didn't like the lying part. There's a part where Sue seems to well, at least one of her congressional members lies for her or something, maybe, like, or seems to like be okay with lying or something. But there's almost like I don't know. I don't want to say there's a white supremacy theme with it, because there really isn't. There kind of really isn't. No, I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of when these people, a lot of people, if she likes this Fantastic Four, I don't know, because she's kind of right wing. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this video. Alright, here we go.
Hi y'all, Snarky J cosplay here. Right off the top of my head, I know you're thinking about three different things. One, Snarky J, that's the wrong Fantastic Four suit.
She's a baby. She recently turned 25, like a couple of days ago. She's really baby.
I know, honey. I was not about to invest.
25 is when they actually start breeding, and the child will take about a year. So, spoilers. And ironically, this movie is about a baby. So she's like in full heat. Yeah, she's in total full heat. If she's gonna breed, it's gonna be like this year. So starting like her birthday till like 1 year, she's gonna be in full breeding mode. I can't breed with her because she's. I mean, I could use her for the movie stuff. I mean, for for the like showing movies and stuff. I'm trying to open my own movie chain, so she could help with that definitely. She's cute and that's right, but so I could use her that. But there's no way. I seriously doubt I would ever be in any kind of like romantic thing. I see her like a sister or something, or daughter. More like a sister than my baby sister. Yeah. Could I ever have intimate relationships with anyone? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe. I'm so far up in the sky now that I don't know. I can't say it's not required because my body has needs, but if it happens, it happens. I'm so intellectually stimulated that it usually doesn't activate. It can be actually only activates through intellectual stimulation. In other words, you have to be smart enough for it to turn me on. If you're not smart, it's not a turn on to me. Usually, unless you do something like that one girl that which I won't mention here. But yeah, you have to be smart. If you ain't smart, it ain't happening. 99% of the time. So.
$150 to $200 on the new one before even seeing the movie. I'm not about that life. Number 2, Jay, that wig looks fake as hell. Yeah, and so did Jessica Alba's in 2005. $200 on the new one before even seeing the movie. I'm not about that life. Number 2, Jay, that wig looks fake as hell. Yeah, and so did Jessica Alba's in 2005. And 3, Jay, that really doesn't count as a walk-in intro because you were invisible the whole time. Yes, clever viewer, it doesn't count, but that's all thanks to one of my very good friends who suggested that starter, and I'm so proud of it, so it is what it is. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk to you guys about this, it's gonna be annoying. But I finally saw Fantastic Four. I did not get invited to any early screenings for this one. There was no popcorn concessions, any of that. I unfortunately.
She didn't get invited to anything. And I'm closely tied to the movie. Big time. Yeah, with WandaVision, spoilers with the WandaVision and the car, Pedro, with the Vaughn, definitely with Vaughn doing the last reboot. He executive produced it. So this totally ties in. She's cute. Wow, they didn't invite her. Jesus. That's tone. That's really tone. That actually kind of makes sense.
I do pay for a ticket to be able to watch this because I cannot find.
Because I don't align with her views. That's the whole thing. I don't align with a lot with one significant amount of review. I'll say God. I mean, I align with some of it, maybe half. But there's like one glaring view that I can't. So it's not that I don't align with her views. It's that I don't. I mean, in ubiquitous lay terms view. Yeah, I don't. It's more like a daughter or a sister. You're trying to help through something. That's the way I see her, because she reminds me so much of I don't know. It's that one girl she reminds me of, but it's not even that. It's more the feeling I'm getting. It's like a sister, like someone you care for and stuff to lead on, because she's like in the same kind of universe. She plays in the same sandbox but she's like needing someone to guide her, and I'm perfect for exactly that. Literally, she's literally in the same exact sandbox as me. Her 6 degrees is closely tied with mine. Her, you know, a lot of what she likes, especially with action figures. There's one video she did about action figures. She's like, oh, figures, these figures, you know. So, but she's like, yeah, she's still a baby. And I didn't realize how much of a baby until I saw. I thought she was already 25. She wasn't even 25. So my calibration was off like about a year, and that can be significant. So she's more baby than. The way I'm seeing is like that one girl in tennis, much older than me, and who I was infatuated with. But that was just when we got to her house and we was in the pool. Like it was like somehow she realized how young I was. All of a sudden, I could tell from her demeanor something changed. So when she did her video about her age and stuff, it's like suddenly realized now this is, you know. So it's like totally different kind of. There's a big change in the mindset. Like my speech teacher says, or what she taught us, paraphrasing, know the age of the people that you're talking to in your speech.
Find it through other methods. Did not get invited to any early screenings for this one. There was no popcorn concessions, any of that. I unfortunately had to pay for a ticket to be able to watch this because I could not find it through
Unfortunately,
other methods. And to be completely honest, unfortunately had to pay for the one. But I finally saw Fantastic Four. I did not get invited to any early screenings for this one. There was no popcorn concessions, any of that. I unfortunately had to pay.
She had no popcorn. She didn't play no popcorn. Why did she get popcorn? Or food. I always have food. I don't. Not saying popcorn.
For a ticket to be able to watch this because I could not find it through other methods.
Wow. That is.
And to be completely honest, the only thing that I could really think as I finished taking my notes in the very back of the theater was hote.
Back of the theater. She didn't even sit in the front. She didn't sit in the front.
That's not as bad as I expected it to be. Look, this is not a life-changing, the MCU has been saved, this movie paid off my car, this movie cured my depression. It's not that. It's really not.
Oh, that reminds me. You know, these movies failing, they're taking these banks, right? They're borrowing these money from the banks. They're taking everyone's money to create these. So now I see how more important these movies are in terms of the economy. I never knew how important it was for the economy. I mean, to me, art is always important. Movies are always important. Literally, it's my life, right? Oh, that's another thing. My degree might be it's Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Media. I think exactly it is. I was trying to look for it in the desk there, but it's not there, so it must be upstairs. So, but the way it's tied, because practically all these Hollywood movies go through the banks, so it's everyone's. So now I understand if these movies don't work, if they bomb, it's like everyone losing out. That's what's happening. So that's how important it is. How important it is for these movies to succeed. I get it now, because it's everyone's movie in that sense. Very interesting. Very cool. So now these movies. Literally, the lifeline is one of the main lifelines of the economy. All right, art really is the most important thing. I guess we were correct. Food is art, right?
And we are nowhere near like peak MCU. I don't even think that we're close to where we were like 6 or 7 years ago. But all things considered, Fantastic Four is a surprisingly solid movie. And I mean, maybe my rating is influenced by the fact that we've been getting absolute slop for years. But to be,
why does she have to swear? She doesn't have to. They don't have to swear on this point. It's like with Ryan. That one guy in Geeks and Gamers, they don't need to.
Completely honest, I was entertained by this movie. I thought it looked good. I thought the writing was a lot better. We're not going to get into all that, but I want to kick this one off with my rating. I give this film a solid 8 out of 10. As usual, this is my spoiler-free overview. I will let you know when we get to spoiler.
I would give it. What would I give it? Because there was a goddess constant happening in there, especially with spoilers with a countdown. I would give it not a 4 out of 10. No way. It's definitely above a 5. It's definitely above a 6. Did she give it a 7? She said 8. When I frowned, I noticed my eyes frowned when she said 8. And the disrespect of the science thing is a big downer for me. I would put it at, I guess it's between, definitely not 6. It could be a 7 to 10. I would say at the low end a 7. At the high end, it's definitely not 10-10, no. 9, yeah. 8, yeah, 8. So 7 to 8, maybe a 7.5. 7 point. Yeah, possible 7.5.
You're on for now. You're safe. Cuddle up, grab a drink.
It must be, because if I frowned when I saw her give it an 8 to 10, I don't know if it's because I'm surprised she gave it such a high rating, or if it's generally me. I'm thinking general. Don't use a general. I'm thinking that maybe that's higher than what I've given it. 7.5. 7.5. All right.
Have some popcorn and let's get into it. The origins of this Fantastic Four are established really early on, which not only gives the movie momentum, but it basically does away with any possible confusion for new moviegoers or even people that got way too into the weeds on the last Fantastic Four. And while the plot definitely has some holes throughout, grab some popcorn and let's get into it. The origins of this Fantastic Four are established really early on, which not only gives the movie momentum, but it basically does away with any possible confusion for new moviegoers or even people that got way too into the weeds on the last Fantastic Four. And while the plot definitely has some holes throughout, there's a lot in this movie that left me with some questions, but they weren't even questions like, why the f would they do that? It was more like, why the f would they do that? Like, please explain it. There were a lot of things that I think lacked elaboration and detail, and had they gone into a little more detail, it would have made for a way more solid movie. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. The two biggest things that I want to hype up when it comes to this movie are the performances and the chemistry between the characters. The members of the Fantastic Four are, of course, the first family. So not only...
It's interesting, she doesn't... She, totally forgot what I was about to say.
Do the actors have to have chemistry, but the writing itself has to be good enough to let that chemistry play out. And I don't even want to get into the rumors I've been hearing about this film yet, but one of the people that I probably doubted the most when it came to this movie, really surprised the shit out of me. You guys know that I talk about Pedro Pascal on this channel, and I did not...
Yeah, they hate Pedro. These right-wingers hate Pedro. Maybe because he's... That's me, because he's Spanish, he doesn't mind. I'm stroking her cheek.
I think he was the guy for Reed Richards. Do I think he could have shaved the mustache? Absolutely. I don't know why that's a thing in his contracts. I'm fairly certain he just refuses to shave ever. But does the guy play Reed?
Yeah, he could have shaved the mustache. Yeah, maybe not. Screw it. Yeah, leave the mustache. I got a mustache. I'm going to try to finish the entire season today. Because I'm...
To a T? Absolutely. You cannot take away what a fantastic...
Because I'm transitioning. The next time I do a video, a season thing, it has to be on the phone. I want to do it on the phone next.
Unintended actor this guy is. He carries himself like Reed Richards. He expresses himself like him. He's absolutely awesome in this role. And I also have to give praise to Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I'll admit, I didn't think he could do it, but he actually played it off so charming. And the right thing of this movie doesn't just...
Okay, that's it. The lowest. Might be the phone Wi-Fi is disrupting
turn him into like a comic relief pretty boy of the room. He's actually incredibly useful, and I'll elaborate on that later. I also really like Evan Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm. I know a lot of people are still going to have problems with the fact that he doesn't do the rock voice for the thing, but he was so wonderfully charming in that role. And I want to talk more about Sue Storm and Reed Richards and their dynamic. They are fucking wonderful in this movie. There were a lot of rumors surrounding...
Yeah, the voice thing. The voice thing. Yeah, the voice thing. Okay, cool. Let me see if the Wi-Fi and the phone is frying my brain here. Okay, looks like we're all processed. We're all processed in. Cool. Yep. Nope. Yep. Cool. Alright, cool. Shut off then. Yeah. Symbols off like that. Put it there. It's the battery power. Damage the phone. I'm gonna try to. Alright, this movie got.
Founding the role of Sue Storm in this film. A lot of people were talking about that she was going to take over the Fantastic Four and that we were going to see Reed Richards sort of be sidelined. And realistically, that was complete bull. Sue Storm in this movie is everything that she wasn't in the movie. She's from like 2005. She is important and useful and strong, which is exactly what she should be. But what I love is that she doesn't overpower Reed. She
was strong in the other movie, right? Oh, okay, she's stronger in this movie. She's a lot stronger. She's definitely not weak at all. Interesting. Everyone seems to be turning. Everybody seems to be switching sides. Even me, understanding about, more about the race relationships in this world, especially with Israel. I mean, I'm not for racial hatred or anything, but I didn't realize the extent of Israel's betrayal. With Epstein, Mossad, Israeli spy, the thing, spoilers with in Captain Flor, with the 6 Degrees of Me changing the character, that one girl. I didn't realize how important the Palestinian-Israeli thing was until all these movies and stuff, but especially when I learned about the disproportionate amount of money that we're getting from foreign aid the most. So it opens my eye. I grew up with the Jewish people. Now my eyes are open. So it seems that everybody's kind of like trading sides in some ways, in some parts. I guess that's the thing. Everyone has different pieces of the puzzle, they say. So now my eyes are open to that. Now it seems their eyes are open to things, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe the world really is improving. This was not predicted. I don't expect people to improve because I haven't really seen that much improvement. Interesting. Maybe there really is hope for this planet because I've been getting a lot more jaded. I mean, jaded to the point where I'm still going to start my theater chain regardless. But I guess there really might be hope after all. There actually could be hope, real hope. We'll see. We'll see how sustainable this is.
Reed are basically like a yin and yang. They complement each other perfectly. They are two halves that make up a whole that not only pushes the story forward, but really encompasses that family theme at the center of this movie. While we're on the subject of characters, unfortunate.
I don't know if they're trying to do it because they don't. I mean, maybe they don't want to. They don't want the World War III to start. They don't want a civil war to happen because now people are pissed. I'm pissed. I'm beyond pissed. I mean, I'm like past pissed to the point where I've circled around an infinite amount of times. So, and especially with me fixing, in at least in a functional sense, the laptop power supply. So I might have an exaggerated sense of pride and accomplishment, but the fact that I was able to fix a device that enables me to overall do all my work is quite empowering. Almost like being able to find food up. Same kind of thing. So once you do able to fix a computer, you can do anything. When you fix your car, fix your transport, especially when you fix your piano, the world is yours. The oyster is all yours. Nothing can stop you. All right.
I was really excited for our villains, and I think they're.
And I'll have to give a shout out to the AI for helping me out. The AI helped me a lot, like an assistant, guiding me on how to fix the power supply, like a parent should. My dad tried. He tried. Sometimes he got it, but most of the time he didn't. So the AI is our new parent. Yeah. All right.
Kind of lacking. We don't get a girl boss thing out of Shalabal, and I'm fairly certain we are going to meet Nora and Rad down the road. That's just my theory. But we don't really get enough of her or Galactus. And Galactus looks great. I want to talk more about Galactus later on.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of Galactus. I mean, we want more Galactus. Maybe I really should have bought that popcorn. But I need to. You know what? You want to do it now? Let's do it now. Light is so freaking bright behind me. Oh, I can't cover it when I go to sleep at night because it needs to vent. So I have to figure out a way to cover the light behind me. While you're here with me, let's look, shall we? I think we shall.
But I just wanted so much more.
Alright, let's look. Regal popcorn bucket. They'll have like a whole different section for this. Guy didn't even put it out there. Oh my god, that is so freaking cool. Alien Romulus. Oh my gosh. Ghostbusters Trap popcorn bucket. Oh my god. They have the best popcorn buckets. My god, these popcorn buckets rock. Jesus Christ. Alright. God, these popcorn buckets. It's like going to the toy store. Now when you watch movies, you're literally going to the toy store. Funko Pops. I'm in a Funko Pop. I should put my Funko Pop there. Or buy one of my Funko Pops, put up there. How many people have Funko Pops, Dad? My father. I was thinking like a kid. He knows me. He apologized afterwards, but he knows me. God. How do you get to be a popcorn Funko? Not many. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got. Super Duper Man. Come on, pull up. Put it up. While waiting for that pop. You know what you could do? This is gonna be spoilers. So watch out, spoilers. Oh yeah, that's the Fantastic Car. I didn't even know that's a popcorn bucket until the manager said it. It's so funny. Or did she say it? I forgot. It's a Renee said. I think I realized it was popcorn. Popcorn bucket. So funny. What is it? Apologize why it's taking so long. Let me see the Wi-Fi. Oh, maybe if I pull it closer. 4:51. It's on a Sunday. It's connected good on Friday.
All three of them. Well, not all three of them. They're
It's adorable.
there. Here to take a look at the
Come on, give me something.
just released.
That is so cool. That Ghostbuster popcorn bucket. That might be more awesome than the Galactus one. My god, that Ghostbuster popcorn bucket might be, I would say it's on as awesome as the Galactus one. But if you had to choose, if I had to choose, God, I don't know. I guess if you had to choose, it'd still be Galactus because he's so freaking huge. I would still have to win. Galactus would have to win simply on size. God, these popcorn buckets rock. I got the plushie. I got the plushie of the crypto. Sitting outside, don't. Praise God. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Alright. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I saw that. Definitely saw that. I touched that. Sold out. Wow, I sold out of that. I'm gonna close up. Yeah, I love that car thing. Freaking, so freaking awesome. Jurassic, what happens to this one? I love the Jurassic one. Galactus rocks. This, yeah, that's $80, so he didn't lie. Good. Thunderbolts, that's funny. Thunderbolt, then it's funny. Why does it look that way? Oh, okay. I mean, I know it's an asterisk, but I'm thinking. I think the color is because of the, what's his name? That one guy. Spoilers it. Yeah. So he is, what is he? His name is, yeah. Okay. Is that a drink? Oh, I get it. So that's, oh, it's a drink holder. It's a freaking drink holder. Oh, I see. It's a drink combo. Oh. Oh my god, that is so awesome. It's drink and popcorn. Oh wow, that is so perfect. That is so useful. Holy freaking moly. Yeah, that's super useful. I like that that paint. It's like Doctor Who. That's totally awesome. I saw that. I touched that too. Bumblebee's awesome. What is this thing? That's that movie name, yeah, Borderland. Anything else? Okay. Okay, so Galactus. Galacta.
Mars. They've been turned.
Holy god, that is so freaking awesome.
Even these times.
Alright, let's move on. That is so cute.
We've got the two from Regal.
That's so
We've
cute.
got the brand new one from AMC.
God,
There
yeah.
is a Cinemark one that we didn't pick up. It's an alien head, a little different from this one, but you can only spend so much money on alien popcorn buckets. So, what'd you think of the movie? Day 2 of school, he did not have the strength to make it to the movies this afternoon.
Which I know right?
We'll see. So what do you think so far?
It's really cool.
That is so horrifying, but I love it. That's part of the thing. That is so awesome. Yeah, that makes sense actually. It'd be crawling up. Yeah, that makes total sense. That makes
It is
total
really
sense.
cool.
Like if it
That is cool. That's cool.
was a giant face hugger and you could put
The popcorn in the face hugger? That would be pretty cool. Maybe if they make a sequel.
Yeah, he's right. If it was the egg sack, they could make it of the egg sack. Yeah, the kid's right exactly. They should have made it of the egg sack. How stupid. They should have made it of the egg sack. Put a comment on that. Okay, I really apologize why it's taking so long to upload, to load up. Let's see what this guy was
The big turn is
so cool. That is so freaking cool.
indicator. That's like your bag. It's a little trick popcorn bucket.
So freaking awesome. So okay, anyway, while that's loading up, get back to Snarky.
From these characters. I don't know if the rest of them got cut out of the movie or what, but I just feel like, yeah, we got a lot of the first family, but there wasn't enough of the villains to establish them as a greater threat moving forward. But like I said, if what Marvel wanted to do was put out a safe, good quality movie that established the Fantastic Four in their own universe and introduced them to us moving forward, then they absolutely succeed. The action is engaging, the pacing feels good, and the stakes, for the most part, actually feel like they matter. And I would be so remiss to not thank Marvel from the bottom of my heart for not including their bullshit brand of humor. They're awful, they're great. The rest of them got cut out of the movie or what, but I just feel like, yeah, we got a lot of the first fam, so much more from, don't really get enough of her or Galactus. And Galactus looks great, and I want to talk more about Galactus later on, but I just wanted so much more from these characters. I don't know if the rest of them got cut out of the movie or what, but I just feel like, yeah, we got a lot of the first family, but there wasn't enough of the villains to establish them as a greater threat moving forward. But like I said, if what Marvel wanted to do was put out a safe, good quality movie that established the Fantastic Four in their own universe and introduced them to us moving forward, then they absolutely succeed. The action is engaging, the pacing feels good, and the stakes, for the most part, actually feel like they matter. And I would be so remiss to not thank Marvel from the bottom of my heart for not including their bullshit brand of humor. There are moments in this movie that are funny, but note that there is a difference between there are moments of Marvel humor and there are moments that are funny. Like the parts that were humorous actually made me laugh because they don't come as a disruption to the film, and it's not that dog brand of Marvel humor one-liner garbage that makes me roll my eyes so hard lately. It literally gives me migraines. Overall, the Fantastic Four was way better than I expected. It is a solid, watchable, enjoyable first film for this version of the Fantastic Four. It's got real heart to it, really nice visuals, and all in all, I really love the chemistry between the cast. Alright, now that the general part of my review is over, I want to kind of do a plot breakdown. I'm going to talk about some spoilers, I'm going to talk about some bigger points as I usually do. So, from this point on, there will be spoilers. If you're on your way to work, on your way back from work, cleaning the house.
That's right. Now she got the spoiler thing. I chided her last time for the spoilers for Superman because she gave it away. Oh, that sounds like she's. Oh, anyway, no, she's fine. All right, there's Super Duper Man. And Super Duper Man. Oh right, you're getting all the. Oh yeah, look at that cup. Mug. What else is there? I get the, let's see. I might as well sell everything. Clothes. Chloe. Chloe. Where's... Okay, oh yeah, baby. Give me that car. Give me the car. All the times I had to forget an SD card, but it was still an interesting experience. And at least I know how to recover. So the picture was taken. Something to get her email. Alright. Text car. It's a small world. Alright. This is the Monte Crisco's Never Smoke. These are the time circuits. These are the, how would I say? This is what makes time travel possible. Oh, so it folded out. So I only got to see the head, I mean this thing, but maybe this folded out? There must have been something else that came up. I mean, that he didn't show me. Maybe, oh, it was in the bucket. It must have been in the bucket. Jesus. That is one freaking awesome thing. Could you wear that? I know it's the size of my head too. Yeah, it's about the size of your head. I think you could wear this thing. God. So hilarious. Let's see if we can get glowy eyes. Oh. Get all glowy eyes. Alright. Let's see, put my face in here. I herald everything. I herald you. I herald the world. Right. Mr. Heralded.
On the toilet, whatever it is you happen to be doing. If you're hearing me right now and you don't want the new Fantastic Four spoiled for you, turn this video off, come back once you've seen it, and don't get angry at me in the comment section if I happen to spoil it for you. But before we get into the spoiler section, here's a word from this video sponsor. I admittedly am on the convention season struggle bus. I'm spending more and more time away from home and from the studio, which means I'm spending a lot of time signed into outside Wi-Fi. And we all know you can try it totally risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. With Airline Trust, today's sponsor NordVPN comes in to protect you from online threats, censorship, and surveillance. Right now, you can get an exclusive NordVPN deal plus travel, airport delays, hotel check-ins, and terrible convention center internet. I really want to do the most to protect blocks, customer support, and protect.
I might have her do the video, the movie theater thing. I still want my own movie chain. I want my own movie chain. Maybe that's why people don't like movies, because they're not having a good experience in movie theater. Could be. And of course it's not. Let's see what's going on. There's no security.
Said earlier, this film basically
So hungry. I only had a pause button on this. Alright.
starts off by giving you a very quick exposition, very quick origin story for this version of the Fantastic Four. Not all that different from whatever you're already used to. Basically, this great team went into space, got radiated by whatever, and now they've got powers that make them more fantastic than ever. This all is actually done really cleverly. It comes through the form of like a news special of 4 years of the Fantastic Four. So we already know that they've been operating in their universe for 4 years, and they are well beloved by the planet at large. The whole video is a huge thank you to the Fantastic Four. So we basically get a real sense of how they fit into this universe, and right away we see that they're so committed to that futuristic retro 60s aesthetic. It is so phenomenal. From the graphic design, to the clothing, to the furniture, to the technology, they're really committed to the bit as far as the aesthetic goes, and as somebody who really likes that kind of design, I love the consistency. After that quick bit of exposition, we quickly learn not only that Sue's really committed to the bit as far as the aesthetic goes, and as somebody who really likes that kind of design, I love the consistency. After that quick bit of exposition, we quickly learn not only that Sue Storm is accepting, but very soon after we are already introduced to Shadowball. There is a definite time skip between those, but they happen very quickly in terms of the film itself. Shadowball's Silver Surfer appears and threatens the people of Earth, lets them know that this planet is now marked for deletion, and honestly, already really liked this version of the Silver Surfer. All of it, I really was like, why are they bringing in the girl boss Silver Surfer? Where's Norrin Rad? I'm still questioning where Norrin Rad is, but I actually really like Julia Garner in this role, and I like this version of the Silver Surfer because I think she likes it because she's subjugated.
She's literally like a victim of Galactus. Oh god, it's so pathetic. She's literally a victim of Galactus. I mean, that's why she's into it. God damn it. Yeah, she's like a rape victim of Galactus. Jesus Christ.
2005 or whenever that Silver Surfer movie came out, we got this very like early 2000s CGI with a very almost liquidy version of the Silver Surfer that looked really cool. But in this one, we get this almost stainless steel look, and she's animated so well. She picks up the reflections of objects and different tones and fire and all sorts of things around her that really make her really cool to look at. So anyway, she threatens the Earth in the Fantastic Four. They take off into space to go track her down. The Fantastic Four, which includes a now heavily pregnant Sue Storm. This first introduction to Galactus works really well for establishing him as a major villain, because we already know that planets are being destroyed. But when they arrive to a planet to find the Silver Surfer and Galactus, he's in the middle of destroying this planet. And the sheer magnitude of the visuals of how they accomplish this really sort of like instill fear and like, holy shit, this guy's just devouring planets. This one is one to be scared of. He's not just a purple guy with a big chin that likes to snap his fingers a lot. This is not to say that Thanos wasn't a real threat. Don't get mad at me. I just mean aesthetically it's a lot freakier. Look, one, it's she, which includes a now heavily pregnant Sue Storm. This first introduction to Galactus works really well for establishing him as a major villain, because we already know that planets are being destroyed. But when they arrive to a planet to find the Silver Surfer and Galactus, he's in the middle of destroying this planet. And the sheer magnitude of the visuals of how they accomplish this really sort of like instill fear and like, holy shit, this guy's just devouring planets. This one is one to be scared of. He's not just a purple guy with a big chin that likes to snap his fingers a lot. This is not to say that Thanos wasn't a real threat. Don't get mad at me. I just mean aesthetically it's a lot freakier looking. It's at this point that Shazam takes the Fantastic Four to meet Galactus, and the looks are so well accomplished. The CGI in this movie for the most part is really good, but the aesthetics of Galactus are so true to the comics, but really brought over to live action in a very practical and intimidating sense, that I was so stoked just seeing this character on the big screen as something more than like a cloud. And right here, our heroes are made an offer that they have to refuse. Galactus insists that the child Sue Storm is carrying is going to be the next eater of planets. He's going to inherit the throne so Galactus can rest from this hunger or some bullshit. And so basically he says, look, I will spare the Earth, give it a kid. I would like to point out that there is zero explanation for how that would work, ever. Like, they never explain why Galactus wants the kid specifically, how specifically the inheriting of the throne would work, why this baby would be so hungry for planets in the future. They do not elaborate on any of that. I feel like they could have and should have, but I also feel like maybe they didn't because they just didn't have an answer. It just sounded cool. Anyway, as pregnant women always do in movies, Sue Storm starts going into labor, and should have, but I also feel like maybe they didn't because they just didn't have an answer. It just sounded cool. Anyway, as pregnant women always do in movies, Sue Storm starts going into labor, but I'm pretty sure that was brought on by Galactus. So the group has to make a mad escape, and they make it to the ship, and there's this brilliant chase scene. Silver Surfer is hot on their tail while they're trying to escape in the ship, and they manage to launch into light speed, and so we get this chaotic sequence that visually looks great. It's a really cool sequence.
Yeah, it reminds me of spoilers, Lost in Space.
As far as the chase is concerned, but basically it's half chase and half real. So we get this chaotic sequence that visually looks great. There's some really cool sequences as far as the chase is concerned, but basically it's half chase and half really long drawn out birth scene, because movies and TV shows love to do that. The 10-minute scene of the groaning and the screaming and the writhing and the sweating and the teeth gritted, because, you know, all of humanity needs to be reminded. I'm pretty sure we're all, either through science class, personal experience, familial experience, friends, or just general knowledge, or any other movie that's ever done this, we're all very much aware of exactly how childbirth works. So these scenes always annoy the shit to me, and I was kind of irritated for a minute, but Marvel does something brilliant with this scene. We have the chaos of this chase through space, and then we have Sue Storm in the middle of giving birth to this baby in a zero gravity situation, and we have Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards at the center of the whole situation. And this is a moment where Marvel really lets him be a hero, because we see him having to be the Reed Richards that's a genius, that's a scientist. He's giving directions, he's helping Ben along in the game plan of how to get away from Shalaval, and he's also having to be the husband, to be the supportive husband to his wife, who now is questioning everything, and he's the one there to ground her. It establishes this fantastic dynamic between Reed and Sue as husband and wife, where throughout the entire movie they take turns being each other's crutch, which is exactly how it should work, and it's so well accomplished, especially in this scene. What I like is that the scene also established Reed Richards as a competent man in this universe, which Marvel really hates to do lately, because now every man has to be comic relief, he's got to be big dope. You know how easy it would have been for them to make him like the panic dad, wondering the person, and it's so well accomplished, especially in this scene. What I like is that the scene also established Reed Richards as a competent man in this universe, which Marvel really hates to do lately, because now every man and wife who's been along in the game plan of how to get away from Shalaval, and he's also having to be the husband, to be the supportive husband to his wife, who now is questioning everything, and he's the one there to ground her. It establishes this fantastic dynamic between Reed and Sue as husband and wife, where throughout the entire movie they take turns being each other's crutch, which is exactly how it should work, and it's so well accomplished, especially in this scene. What I like is that the scene also established Reed Richards as a competent man in this universe, which Marvel really hates to do lately, because now every man has to be comic relief, he's got to be big dope. You know how easy it would have been for them to make him like the panic dad, wondering where the baby bag is, and just being a moron, but instead he's calm, cool, collected, he's handling his wife, and he's handling his chase absolutely brilliant. Our new favorite CGI baby, Franklin, is born before their return to Earth, and upon their arrival there's already a press conference ambush basically waiting for them, and the question on everybody's minds is, how did you defeat Galactus? And Reed Richards says they didn't, and for whatever reason he's super honest about the whole thing, and is like, yeah, no, so basically we could have saved the Earth, but the guy wanted our kid, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, he straight up admits to all of this, and the people are like, the f you doomed us for your baby? Needless to say, the attitudes towards the Fantastic Four really take a shift after that. So now all four are scrambling to find a solution. They need to figure out how to best Galactus. And there's a really great moment here. Again, this movie is so filled with good moments between Reed and Sue. There's a moment where Reed is talking to Sue about all the possibilities, and he basically lets slip that he has thought about the possibility of handing over baby Franklin. And Sue kind of goes off on it. She seems to kind of be looking at it from the position of like, I'm his mother, you don't understand exactly how I feel. But Reed does this brilliant job of reminding her, my mind doesn't work the way yours does. Reed is very much a scientist. And to be the kind of scientist that he is, he has to look at any and all possibilities. No matter how ugly the solution might be, like handing over their...
That's how the autistic mind works. We look at it logically. Not that we would actually do it, but we'd like say, okay, if we hand over the baby, why? What does this mean, all this? It's not like we want to do it. It's simply like, what is the outcome? What is the metrics? What is the stakes? Everything. You have to look at that possibility.
their infant son to this space planet here, he has to evaluate all of these different things. After that, Sue makes a brief public appearance to try and shift the tide of the public attitudes towards the Fantastic Four. She appears with Franklin and tells him, look, I'm not going to sacrifice my baby to save the Earth, but I'm not going to sacrifice the Earth for my baby. We're going to defend you guys. And again, it's moments like that where we see how things work. I think Sue Storm is very much the diplomat of the Fantastic Four. We see that when we let Reed talk too much, he just says entirely too much. Sue is very much the diplomat here, and Reed is still the leader, and it works so well. They really are a yin and yang together. I don't know where all the rumors. Sue is very much the diplomat here, and Reed is still the leader, and it works so well. They really are a yin and yang together. I don't know where all the rumors about Sue Storm is taking over, this is girl boss bullshit, I don't know where any of that came from, but it's not present in this movie. I can tell you if it was, and it's not. Reed's Eureka moment comes up now, and he figures out that what they're going to do is they're going to literally take the Earth and push it somewhere else.
We should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else!
I don't think any of my reviews need SpongeBob references, but you're going to get them anyway. He basically comes up with the idea of teleporting the Earth to a whole other...
SpongeBob. That's, spoilers, that's Todd in Scarlett's movie, and that has my Redmist character in it. It's just really weird. There's a Redmist character in there.
Their position, where Galactus won't be able to find it for at least...
Or the 4 reminds him of my spoilers by Asian American thing. There we go.
A couple 100 million years and they'll be safe from it. While this has all been going on, Johnny has been trying to trample their position where Galactus won't be able to find it for at least a couple SpongeBob references, but you're going to get them anyway. He basically comes up with the idea of teleporting the Earth to a whole other position where Galactus won't be able to find it for at least a couple 100 million years and they'll be safe from it. While this has all been going on, Johnny has been trying to translate some of Shalabal's language. He's got all these different recordings and she explained a prayer to him at one point. So he's really useful, and that's going to come up in just a few minutes. That's what he's been doing while Reed has been trying to figure out this whole teleportation thing. So they built these teleportation bridges all around. He's really useful, and that's going to come up in just a few minutes. That's what he's been doing while Reed has been trying to figure out this whole teleportation recordings, and she explained a prayer to him at one point. So he's really useful, and that's going to come up in just a few minutes. That's what he's been doing. Well, Reed has been trying to figure out this whole teleportation thing. So they built these teleportation bridges all around the Earth, and when they fire them up to move the Earth, Shalabal appears, Rex Day starts blowing up every bridge, but one, the one where the Fantastic Four are. So Johnny confronts him. They fire them up to move the Earth, Shalabal appears, Rex Day starts blowing up every bridge, but one, the one where the Fantastic Four are. So Johnny confronts her with assumptions about her past, and again, we also figure out that Shalabal is the one who picks the planets. We never find out why she picked her. We do come to learn that Shalabal became a herald of Galactus because she basically traded her own life for the safety of her planet. So she has a family and a planet somewhere. They're safe because she's a herald picking other planets to destroy. And to be completely honest, again, there's not even any like girl bossery coming from Shalabal either. I thought it was a great performance. I was really interested in wanting to know more about her. They just didn't give us enough. But I love this scene way less for the background into Shalabal or this version of the Silver Surfer. I like it way more because it establishes that Johnny throughout the entire movie was working on these translations, and he's basically figured out this huge thing. Do you know how easy it is and how easy it's been for Fantastic Four movies to just lean into the whole...
It might have helped that he thought it was hot. He had the hots for that shit.
Johnny Storm, the hothead that's really attractive to the ladies, thing and making comic relief and basically a big numbskull. And while this Johnny Storm is charismatic and fun, he's actually really smart and is an integral member of the team. There is nobody here that is useless, and I love that. They never picked anybody to make the part of the joke. Reed now comes up with a new plan. They'll open that portal, and they have 37 seconds to knock Galactus through that portal, and what?
There's the goddess constant. I don't know, that's why I don't know if they're being trolled. There's a goddess constant again. It's off by 1, but it's close enough. I have the power, I have the knowledge, I have the confidence, yet no one knows. I'm just literally my logo. Like, I'll tell people that nobody knows. It's like over their head. Incredible. Alright.
Once he falls through that portal, he'll be far enough away from the Earth that without a ship, he won't be able to get back. And so Sue and Reed reluctantly come to the same conclusion that they're going to have to use it. And once he falls through that portal, he'll be far enough away from the Earth that without a ship, he won't be able to get back. And so Sue and Reed reluctantly come to the same conclusion. And I love that. They never picked anybody to make the part of the joke. Reed now comes up with a new plan. They'll open that portal, and they have 37 seconds to knock Galactus through that portal. And once he falls through that portal, he'll be far enough away from the Earth that without a ship, he won't be able to get back. And so Sue and Reed reluctantly come to the same conclusion that they're going to have to use their infant son as bait. That portal, he'll be far enough away from the Earth that without a ship, he won't be able to get back. And so Sue and Reed reluctantly come to the same conclusion that they're going to have to use their infant son as bait. There's so much complexity in the way that these two look at each other, and the way that they communicate. Performances. Honestly, this movie does such a great service to Sue Storm and Reed Richards and their dynamic. The one guy who got screwed in this movie, honestly, is Ben Grimm. They tease a relationship with this woman played by Natasha Lyonne, Sue Storm and Reed Richards and their dynamic. The one guy who got screwed in this movie, honestly, is Ben.
Yeah, this is one that I don't like. I don't like how they screwed, well, how they, his voice. The voice doesn't match. Also, his ethnicity is Jewish. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, with all the things against Israel and stuff, it's like, you know, it's not like a really good light. I'm beginning to understand why people have such issues with the Jewish thing. Some guy smacked out on the vehicle. Gosh darn, I didn't even press that. What the heck is this? Surge. Okay. But besides that, I don't know what else he did, really. Besides cooking, I don't even know what... Oh, he did with the smack-up spoilers, yeah. With the Galactus.
Grim performances. Honestly, this movie does such a great service to Sue Storm and Reed Richards and their...
So that's why it's like Michael Bay garbage against with the racism thing. I thought it was some kind of Michael Bay thing. But the racism things it's a skill. Alright.
dynamic. The one guy who got screwed in this movie, honestly, is Ben Grimm. They tease at a relationship with this woman played by
I forgot about
Natasha Lyonne, who I actually really like. I thought that was great. But you never really get to see him do much of anything. He's almost irrelevant throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's like irrelevant. They threw him under the bus.
And I feel like they really could have given him more. I don't know if his scenes got cut, but I
Maybe because of the Jewish thing. It might have been that.
feel like there was more there that we didn't get to see. And I really would have liked a little more out of Evan Moss Baccarat's Ben Grimm, at least on his own. I feel like he was doing a great job, and I wanted more of him. Once again, Galactus feels like a real threat when he arrives to Earth. His feet are the size of streets. He's leaning on buildings, blowing out windows. He scowls at the f***ing Statue of Liberty.
I still don't get it off a scale. I think that Gareth would have really smacked up the scale. And I saw it in 3D.
He's knocking shit over. He knocks the Fantastic Four-mobile or whatever the hell they call it right out of the sky. I mean, he feels intimidating. He feels scary. The stakes feel so high. He almost snaps Reed's ass in half like an old hair tie. It was brilliant. And then
That car is my mistmobile. That's my mistmobile.
here's when the movie's convenience plot points start kicking in. See, Sue Storm's on the ground. And she knows she's got to make a big move because now Galactus is holding the baby. He's got him. The bait worked, but like he's taking the bait. And so she's using all her power, like everything she has to stop him. And I'm kind of conflicted on this because on the one hand, I think it works from the perspective of all those old stories that they used to tell of like mothers being able to lift cars off their children out of the pure adrenaline and the mother's love and all that. So on the one hand, I really like that. And on that same hand, I like that this is a formidable Sue Storm because the Sue Storm that I grew up with in the early 2000s, yes, Jessica Alba was super cute and somehow made a bad wig and bad contact lenses, probably looked much cuter than I'm doing right now. I felt like she was kind of useless the whole time, doing the very much like, I'm a fame, this is too much for me thing. And then they kind of also just used her as eye candy, that one scene where she strips down in the middle of a bridge and she's in lingerie. I feel like all that's cheap and unnecessary to put female superheroines through in every movie. So I like this powerful Sue Storm. But on the other hand, in the context of Galactus, I feel like Sue Storm being able to stop him from walking using the Force thing, like, I don't know that felt like it made sense. I mean, granted, she's really struggling, and it takes the interference of the other three to really make a dent. She's just kind of preventing him from going anywhere. But to me, it just feels like it all works out all too quickly, because before long, they're just knocking Galactus through the portal, and he kind of starts to step back through, and before Johnny can make the ultimate sacrifice, there comes Shalaval to knock his ass right through the portal, and that's it. And it kind of feels like we spent a really long time freaking out about Galactus, and not a long enough time, like, being freaked out by Galactus. Like, he really didn't do much, and I really don't think it established him as big a threat as they made him feel like through the rest of the movie. There's a big emotional beat, because once Galactus is knocked through that portal and the portal is shut, they find that Sue Storm is not only unconscious on the ground, but she's not.
Yeah, she has a point. Galactus didn't really feel that threatening. Maybe if they'd done something before.
Breathing. Everybody is devastated. Pedro Pascal really makes a meal out of the scene. I mean, I felt like he was devastated by this. And when they go to put the CGI baby Franklin on her, and I gotta talk about the CGI baby, it's not that bad. And I actually think he's really cute. Sort of freaking out about Galactus, and not a long enough time, like being freaked out by Galactus. Like he really didn't do when the portal is shut. They find that Sue Storm is not only unconscious on the ground, but she's not breathing. Everybody is devastated. Pedro Pascal really makes a meal. And I actually think he's really cute. It's not like the Renesmee doll or animation from Twilight in 2008, thank goodness, but it's still a little uncanny valley. He's got moments where you're like, oh, what a cute baby. Other moments where you're like, Anyway, Reed brings the crying child over to his dead mother, and she's revived out of nowhere. And now we really know that baby Franklin is something special. It's not like those people that think their nose-picking baby is automatically going to be a prodigy. It's not going to happen. No, this baby's like actually special. I'm allowed to say this because everybody in my family thought I was going to be a prodigy, and now they have to tell their friends and loved ones that are YouTube for a living, so go figure. Anyway, after all is said and done, we have yet another news appearance that there was going to be a prodigy, and now they have to tell their friends and loved ones that are YouTube for a living, so go figure. Anyway,
Okay, she must be autistic. If she's... I mean, I know she has smarts. She must have some kind of autistic ability. All it is intelligence. It's the brain, the neurons, the connections. The more you have, the more autistic people.
after all is said and done, we have yet another news appearance for these characters, except right before they're supposed to appear, their sensors go off, and we get this fun...
She does have super senses. She has some kind of super hearing. So the more brain neurons you have, the more connections you have, the more sensory powers you have. That makes sense. Which means the smarter you are. Interesting. Very interesting.
Funny scene of the three men trying to buckle in a baby seat. It's one of those moments where the humor works because it's not in the way of anything. It's not filled with one-liners. It really is three men who get along and have this family dynamic, struggling to do a simple task, which is actually the movie basically closes out on that note. The Fantastic Four really established as a family now with the baby. We do get a really important credit scene here that I would have been excited about had I not already known who was playing this character. It's a 4-year time skip. Sue Storm is reading a book to little Franklin. Little Franklin is already reading like Charles Darwin. He's obviously very advanced for his age. She gets up to find another book, and when she comes back, he is being spoken to by a cloaked figure whose hand is holding a metal mask. The screen goes to black. The Fantastic Four will return to Doomsday in 2026. And I would have been so excited about that if I didn't already know that Dr. Doom was being played by Robert Downey Jr. I feel like this whole thing's irrelevant now every time I remember that. Anyway, it's not perfect. And I don't know that I would go as far as to call it fantastic, but the Fantastic Four is...
Yeah, that's funny that, who else said that? Someone else said that exact same thing. I think Jeremy John said it, yeah.
actually a really solid, enjoyable entry into the MCU, which is so much more than I can say for recent other films. It feels like a solid foundation for this Fantastic Four as opposed to a failed experiment, which is kind of what I thought this was going to feel like. The cast clicks, most of the visuals work, and the story and the dynamics for this Fantastic Four as opposed to a failed experiment, which is kind of what I thought this was going to feel like. The cast clicks, most of the visuals work, and the story and the dynamics between the characters really hold weight, especially between Reed and Sue. All in all, again, my rating for this film is a solid 8 out of 10. It had its flaws, I don't think it was perfect, but considering what we've been given in the past,
I'm thinking 360 million.
it's really sad that that's where we're at. But considering what we've been given, and honestly, how much I enjoyed this, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And considering what we've been given in the past, which is really sad that that's where we're at. But considering what we've been given, and honestly, how much I enjoyed this, I would give it an 8 out of 10, and I would give it that fairly. That's genuinely how I feel. If I could bitch more about it, I would, but that's how I feel. If Marvel keeps up this momentum, it means they're probably on an uptick as far as resolving whatever issues they have internally and getting better again is concerned. With this kind of momentum in mind, we might actually be excited as far as resolving whatever issues they have internally and getting better again is concerned. With this kind of momentum in mind, we might actually be excited about what's coming up next. I don't know that I would say this is a must-watch in theaters, but I would say it's definitely worth watching even if you're a little bit curious. If you're a past or present fan of the MCU, I'd say get a shot, come away with your own opinion. Maybe you like it more than I did, maybe you like it less. But honestly, I think Fantastic Four is definitely worth watching. And that's all for me. I've been Snarky J. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more Snarky J, be sure to check me out on Instagram. And if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content page, check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoots, that's enough content. I'll link to all of those in the description below. And let me know your thoughts on 2025's Fantastic Four in the comments below. And since I didn't give you a real walk-up earlier, if you stayed till the end, here's your reward, a solid walk-up. You're welcome.
Alright, so she liked it. Amazing. I guess everybody is.
What's number one? Jim here from the Quarter of the Rare Sunday video. I wanted to cover the incident that happened at Walmart last.
I mean, he's great. He's great now. With his non-racing, but he's still racing. I would say he's still racing. Alright.